On Wednesday, Boise State linebacker Leighton Vander Esch was named Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. His leadership has inspired his teammates. His story inspires anyone who's ever been counted out. Leighton Vander Esch has a motor that never quits.
He works so hard. His work ethic is unmatched.
Vander Esch doesn't know any other way. He works with a chip on his shoulder.
He's going to get sacked back at the 50-yard line.
Everybody that thought I couldn't do it, and they're always in your ear saying, you're not going to be able to do this, you're not going to be able to do that, just because you're from there. And I mean, that just pushed me even more to say, yeah, I can do it.
It wasn't long ago this defensive giant was a skinny kid from a small town. Riggins, Idaho, population 406.
Nice pass.
Leighton was a quarterback and a linebacker for the Salmon River Savages, playing 8-man football.
I'd never heard of 8-man football until I got here, so when they were saying that, I was like, what is 8-man football?
I think it made me a better athlete, playing both sides of the ball, and I mean, running around on the field. I mean, you always stayed in shape. You always had to be in shape because you're playing both sides. And
Leighton was a star athlete, but not one college program made a serious pitch in the recruiting process. So Leighton headed to Boise to walk on in hopes to play for the only team he ever dreamed of suiting up for.
Getting to come to the games when I was younger and feeling how electric that was, watching them run out of the tunnel on game day and then actually getting to experience it is insane.
Once on campus, it didn't take long for the coaches to realize this small-town kid had big-time potential.
We're having a staff meeting about recruiting, and Leighton had been here. We're talking about we're looking for a linebacker that we're going to recruit in scholarship, and we want this 6'2.5" long guy that can run and is physical and smart. And we're all sitting there kind of going, well, the guy's right here. You know, this guy is all those things. You see his work ethic, you see his ability, you see him compete. I think the moment was right there. Like, we've got a guy right now on campus, on this football team, that is exactly what we're looking for. What are we doing? Let's give this guy the opportunity to be great.
He's been that and more for Boise State. This season, Vander Esch leads the Broncos with 113 tackles. His production is only outweighed by the impact he's made on his teammates.
And as a leader, you know, Leighton doesn't like to point fingers, everything, you know, he takes upon himself, and he's able to, you know, point out the flaws in himself when he tries to correct others too. You know, it's more of a let's get better together.
A guy that everybody looks at and says, well, that's the way it needs to be done. And he's been consistent about it, so it's hard not to root for guys like that.
His journey has inspired, his play productive.
It is Vander Esch with the interception.
Once counted out, Leighton Vander Esch is now counted on to lead the Broncos to a championship.
Mangum picked up by Leighton Vander Esch.
it's one of the greatest honors you can have, and I mean, it's hard to explain what it means to me, and I'm super thankful for everybody that supported me through it.
Vander Esch has worked as a river rafting guide in his hometown of Riggins, Idaho, a place he calls the whitewater capital of the Northwest. He says that rowing helped him build strength as a kid that's helped him be the player he is today. At Boise State University, home of the Broncos, I'm Jesse Kurtz for the Mountain West Network. Now for a report on Fresno State, here's Cassie Soto.
Thank you, Jesse. Vander Esch and the Broncos defense will be put to the test come Saturday when Bulldogs wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson steps on the field. Johnson has been the go-to receiver this season, and his consistency has played a huge part in Fresno State's rise as West Division champions. If Keyshawn Johnson records a reception on Saturday, he will set a new program record for most consecutive games with a catch.
Touchdown, Fresno State!
Breaking former Bulldog Henry Ellard's record of 34 from 1979 to 82.
Well, you know, that'll just be great to know about after it happens. So hopefully it happens, and you know, hopefully there's many more records to be broken.
Touchdown, Fresno State, Keyshawn Johnson.
He's become a real leader, especially on the offense for this team. And it came down to his work ethic. He's put in the work to be a big playmaker for us when we need him, whether it's normal downs, third downs, red zone. Keyshawn's came through in the clutch for us this year.
The Palo Alto native has only one game in his entire career where he went without a catch, when the Dogs paid a visit to Ole Miss in 2015 during his redshirt freshman year. Since then, Johnson has caught at least one pass in 34 consecutive games and is among an elite list of the nation's best.
10, Johnson dives, he scores, touchdown!
Only 17 players in the country carry an active streak of more than 30 games with a catch, Johnson included.
It's very consistent, and that's a testament to his practice habits every day. He comes to work and wants to get better, and that carries over into games on Saturday.
Most of the time he's wide open and he wins, so I'm just kind of my job to make sure I throw a good ball so he could go all the way and take it to the house, basically.
Johnson is 2 catches shy of matching his 66 receptions made as a sophomore and has risen to number 9 on the Bulldog all-time top 10 pass receptions in a career. Also on the list is former Bulldog standout and current Green Bay Packers wide receiver Davante Adams. Adams and Johnson are longtime friends from the same hometown and have both made their impact on Bulldog football.
I've been looking up to him. So he's one of the reasons I came here, one of the reasons I went to the same high school, because we followed each other through Pop Warner and everything like that. So I feel like he's a good role model to me, and he's helping me a lot through the whole college process.
While Johnson is a hard worker on the field, teammates say he's a great friend and someone they enjoy being around.
He's definitely one of the guys that I can trust. I see one-on-one coverage out there. I know he's going to come down with the ball, or no one is. I mean, and then off the field, I mean, he's a comedian. He's just a great guy to hang out with and just funny. Just a real good relationship that we have there.
High energy guy. A guy with a lot of energy, loves to dance, loves to be happy. He brings energy to the team. You know, he's always in a good mood, and he's a big-time playmaker, so it's always good to have.
You know, he's a great player. You know, he works hard every day. You know, he really deserved it. He's gonna always give his all during the game. So just for him to get this opportunity, you know, we go stand behind him 120%.
Ready to go.
When I initially asked Johnson about his excitement of potentially breaking a record, he said he didn't even know about it. He's just focused on the team's overall success, especially coming into the championship game. With the Bulldogs on the campus of Fresno State, I'm Cassie Soto for the Mountain West Network.